I have 3 possible suspects for the murder of my Philadelphia brother, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I have 3. Number 1, and these are in no order. No suspect is of more interest than the other. These are in no particular order. You are listening to the Prince of Pan-Africanism somewhere within the ghettos of North Central Philadelphia. The NBA, as a multinational corporation, is a suspect in Dr. Umar's investigation. The National Basketball Association is a suspect in Dr. Umar's investigation. National Basketball Association is my first suspect. My second suspect is the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry is my second suspect. And my third and final suspect, and all of this can change based on the information. Investigations are a work in progress. It's like a psychological evaluation. I might think your son got a reading problem, but more information might show me that it's trauma. I might think your son got trauma. More information might show me it's an attachment problem. All investigations are works in progress. Suspect number 1, the National Basketball Association. Suspect number 2, the pharmaceutical industry. Suspect number 3, who is Dr. Umar's third and final suspect in the Kobe Bryant assassination. The Rockefeller Council on Foreign Relations and Trilateral Commission. The Rockefeller Council on Foreign Relations and Trilateral Commission. Oh yes, I repeat my 3. The NBA, the pharmaceutical company, and the Rockefeller Trilateral / CFR. The Rockefellers have the CFR, the CFR has the Trilaterals. Those are my 3 suspects. Let me explain why. They're all equally suspicious right now, and they could have colluded. They're all equally suspicious right now, and they could have colluded. They're all equally suspicious right now, and they could have colluded. The NBA, the pharmaceutical industry, and the Rockefeller CFR and Trilaterals. You ask me, why do I repeat certain comments certain times? Because as a mental scientist, I understand that which is repeated is remembered more often than that which is not. So when there's something very important that I'm saying that I need to sink into your unconscious, your long-term memory, I have to repeat it. We also know that information that is presented more than 3 to 5 seconds has a higher likelihood of being encoded into your long-term memory, long-term storage. Remember, you're talking to the greatest black psychologist of the 21st century. Put some respect on my name. You're talking to the greatest Pan-Africanist of the 21st century. Put some respect on my name. You're talking to the greatest black school psychologist, Pan-Africanist, orator of the 21st century. I know we only 20 years in. We got 80 more to go, but so far, I'm leading. The reason I believe the NBA is suspicious is because Kobe Bryant was building a very strong business foundation in Red China. For the last couple of years, Kobe Bryant has been building a very powerful business foundation in Red China. As you know, America can't stand China because China is the only country America cannot beat in a straight-up war. America has been trying to destabilize China. That's why you got bird flu and all these other flus. They keep popping up on the Chinese people to disrupt the society in order to sabotage the Chinese economy. America can't stand China. The only reason why the NBA is over there having games is they're trying to use the NBA as a velvet glove for the iron fist of white capitalism to try to get in and destroy from within. I said the reason the NBA is having games in China is because that is a front for the United States power structure so that they can get in and destroy from within. And the other reason why the NBA is having games in China is because Kobe Bryant was having talks about starting a league in China, a international league based in China. Do you know how much money the NBA would stand to lose if Kobe Bryant starts his own league and is based in China? Problem with you jackasses is you don't read anything. Problem with you jackasses is if it's not on TMZ, you don't pay attention to it. That's right. Kobe Bryant, one man, was more popular in the most populated country in the world than the entire NBA and all its teams put together. Kobe Bryant was a god in China. Kobe Bryant was a god in China. Now I want you to add to the fact that Kobe Bryant was a god in China. Add that to the fact that he probably has a chip on his shoulder anyway for being robbed of at least 2 MVPs. Add that to the fact that he probably had a chip on his shoulder anyway because he was robbed of at least 2 MVPs. Add that to the fact he probably had a chip on his shoulder because they keep on putting LeBron James above Kobe and who's the greatest of all time conversation. I don't give a damn about no analytics. I don't give a damn about no analytics. And I love and support and respect LeBron James, but he cannot tie Kobe's shoestrings. No disrespect to King James. You are not on Kobe's level. No disrespect to King James. The only reason why they leave Kobe out of that conversation is because an alleged charge of sexual improprieties that we're not going to get into. That's right. Kobe Bryant's business ventures posed a threat to the NBA's success. Kobe Bryant was more popular in China than everybody else put together. That's the point that I'm making. Kobe Bryant's business activity as a retired NBA athlete was not your usual investments for a retired NBA player. Kobe Bryant was on some next level shit, brothers and sisters. Kobe Bryant was on some next level shit, brothers and sisters. A lot of our NBA players, they retire, they get a restaurant, get a nightclub, get a clothing company, open up a couple small businesses. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Kobe Bryant was on some next level shit. He wasn't on no small time business. Kobe Bryant was investing in legal companies globally, video game development, international sports leagues, the IT business. Kobe was on some big shit. He was on some Bill Gates shit. He wasn't on no small time shit. They said by the time Kobe retired, he'd have made almost $1 billion in the NBA alone with his endorsements. He was damn near a billionaire when he left the game. What you think he doing now? He got a damn Hollywood production company. It ain't as big as Tyler Perry's, but he was on his way. Kobe Bryant was investing in animation. You know how much money they make off of animation? Excuse me, Avatar? Excuse me, Star Wars? Do you realize some of the biggest films in American history, global history, were animated films? And are you aware that China is the heaven for animation? The Chinese IT business corners the market when it comes to animation. Kobe was moving silently, but moving powerfully. Kobe Bryant had his hands in almost a dozen different multinational, multi-billion-dollar business efforts, one of them being a possible league that would undermine the NBA. So if you're wondering why he was killed the morning after LeBron James passed him as the third leading scorer in NBA history, if you're wondering why he was killed the morning after LeBron James passed him as the third leading scorer in NBA history, I suggest you look at Kobe Bryant's sports interests. I suggest you look at Kobe Bryant's ideas to start an international basketball league with Chinese corporations as a partner. So that's the NBA. Now let's move on over to Big Pharma. At the time of his death, Kobe was in the process. He was in a legal battle with a very large pharmaceutical company over the rights to use the phrase Black Mamba. They stole it from Kobe. The United States government, I believe they refused him the rights to copyright the name. So Kobe took it to court. Everybody knows the pharmaceutical industry is probably the most powerful industry in America. They put more money into political campaigns and into judges' pockets than almost any other industry, including oil and automobiles. Remember, it's the legal drug industry. They got buku bucks. It's the legal drug industry. They got buku bucks. But not only was Kobe Bryant fighting for his name, CFRs had an issue with Kobe Bryant's global business pursuits. The CFR had concerns about Kobe Bryant's Chinese business relationships. The CFR had a problem with a retired NBA legend thinking he got any business getting involved in international capitalism. NBA retired players don't get involved in international capitalism. They open up strip joints and nightclubs and music studios and music labels and fish fries and chicken wing joints and movie theaters. They don't get involved in no damn international investments of $1 billion magnitude. They sell sneakers. What are you doing, Kobe? Yes, brothers and sisters, and I'm going to do more research and I'm going to bring you more information. I'm going to do more research and I'm going to bring you even more information. I repeat, brothers and sisters, Kobe Bryant and Dr. Umar's thorough political assessment up until today, because new information may bring a new narrative. New information may bring a new narrative, but right now I'm looking at the NBA being threatened by Kobe's, potentially creating another rival international basketball association where the NBA's ratings are already suffering. The NBA's ratings are already suffering. The NBA's ratings are already down. That's why they're trying to go into other companies. And here comes Kobe talking about, don't worry about going to China because I'm about to lock China down with my own league. And here you have Kobe Bryant saying, don't worry about China. I'm about to lock down China with my own basketball league. Keep your ass in North America, NBA. You want to give me one MVP with 5 rings? Who do you know with one MVP with 5 rings? No. I'm going to show y'all who's king. Kobe was on the Leo cusp, August the 23rd. He just missed Leo. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, August 21st, on the Virgo cusp. I just missed Virgo. We separated by 1 day. I know what he was thinking. We don't go out like that. End of August babies, we don't go out like that. Marcus Messiah Garvey, we don't go out like that. His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, we don't go out like that. Menelik II, end of August babies, we don't go out like that. Kobe Bryant was an end of August baby like the Prince of Pan-Africanism. NBA, pharmaceutical industry, Kobe was exposing them for illegal practices and fighting them to keep his name. And then you have the CFR and the trilaterals of the Rockefellers for undermining their global Anglo-Saxon financial empire. The CFRs and the trilaterals had an issue with Kobe Bryant for undermining their international financial interests for white supremacy by working with the Chinese. This is why we need FDMG. This is why we need FDMG. This is why we need FDMG. Y'all need political education because you're not getting it on YouTube. You're not getting it on Twitter. You're not getting it from TMZ. You're not getting it on Facebook. You're not even getting it from the New York Times, the Washington Times, the New York Post, USA Today. You're not getting it. Isn't it funny that we have not yet seen a video of the crash site? They only showing you the crash site from the air. Why can't we see the crash site from the ground up close? Why can't we see the crash site from the ground up close? I mean, you've already removed the deceased. Rest in peace to all of them. Condolences to their families. You've already removed the deceased. Rest in peace to all of them. Condolences to their family. Black, white, and purple. I can be for my people and still show respect for another. Black, white, or purple. I can be unapologetically African and still show respect for another. Why can't we see a tour up close of the crash site? Why they keep giving us these aerial photos? And then they said Kobe's helicopter didn't have a black box. Kobe's helicopter didn't have a black box. Kobe's helicopter did not have a black box. Is that a coincidence? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. His helicopter was not required to have a black box. The black box records the activity in the cockpit. The black box records the activity in the helicopter. Kobe Bryant's helicopter did not have a black box, so they say. So they say. So they say. So here's my question. If Kobe Bryant's helicopter did not have a black box on the day of the accident, did it have a black box the day before the accident? Can somebody answer that for me? Did he never have a black box? Or was the black box missing on that day? We need to find that out, brothers and sisters. Why wouldn't he not have a black box? The helicopter that Kobe bought, according to news reports, is one of the most expensive private helicopters you can buy. It was top of the line. They said it's one of the most expensive helicopters that you can buy. Top of the line for quality and safety. Top of the line. One of the most expensive. Why would Kobe Bryant invest all that money into a helicopter of that quality and not have a black box? Why not? Now, if he never had a black box, I could understand. If he never had a black box, I could understand. If Kobe never had a black box, I could understand. What I'm asking y'all to find out, and I'm going to look into this. Did that helicopter have a black box before the day of the assassination? Did Kobe's helicopter at any time during his ownership, did it have a black box? Because if it did, what happened to the black box on the day of the crash? That's what I want to know. Now, somebody is saying he wasn't in his own helicopter. This is the first time I'm hearing that. I was told that it was his, but let's say it was not his helicopter, because that's possible. That's possible. That's not what I heard, but let's say it was not Kobe's helicopter. Let's say it was another helicopter. I'm even more suspicious now, my queen. I'm even more suspicious now. You want to know why? Because most commercial aircraft are required to have a black box. Kobe's helicopter was privately owned, but a commercial helicopter that transports people for business is required to have a black box. So if you're telling me Kobe was not in his own helicopter, whose helicopter was he in? And if it was a commercial helicopter, where was the black box? In other words, the more questions y'all raise, the more suspicious I get. And you're saying that he was in somebody else's helicopter and they won't tell us who the owner was. If that is true, that is suspicious. We understand it doesn't require a black box. That's not the question. I've already stated that Kobe was not required to have a black box in his helicopter. The question is, did he have one though? Not require it, not being required to have and not to have is two different things. Not required to have and not having is two different things. Although it wasn't required, I would think a man of Kobe's status with a family and so many young, beautiful princesses that he would have a black box. I would believe he would have one. Why would he not? But we don't need to speculate. We need to investigate. We don't need to speculate. We need to investigate. We don't need to speculate. We need to investigate. And then I also heard that the pilot that flew the plane was known for being extremely careful and meticulous with everything that he does. They said Kobe's pilot was one of the most serious, dedicated, organized, and meticulous pilots that they had. They said the chances of him being in an accident are slim to none. They said that pilot had over 20 years experience. Over 20 years experience, and he had a no-nonsense reputation for being meticulous. It's not adding up, brothers and sisters. And then they said that the pilot requested to land and they wouldn't let him land. Why wasn't he allowed to land if, in fact, that report is true? It's not adding up, brothers and sisters. You mean to tell me my helicopter is in trouble? I'm asking for permission to land and you don't let me land? It's not adding up, brothers and sisters. And then they said there was a fire on board the helicopter, but they're not telling us why there was a fire on board the helicopter. Was it a fire or was it a goddamn bomb? Was it a fire or was it a damn bomb? Was it a fire or was it a bomb? And then they also said, no other aircraft were allowed to take off that day due to the fog. No other aircraft were allowed to take off that day due to the fog. Special permission was needed for Kobe to take off. No other aircraft were allowed to take off that day at that time due to the fog. Why was Kobe allowed to take off with children? Why was that helicopter allowed to take off with children? Why was that helicopter allowed to take off with children on board if it was not safe? Come on, y'all. I know we more intelligent than this. Dr. Umar, are you saying we should automatically believe that it was an assassination? No, I'm not. My truth does not have to be your truth. My truth does not have to be your truth. What have I been telling y'all for years? What have I been saying to y'all over and over again for years? My job is not to make you believe what I believe. My job is to turn you into a critical thinker. That's all I want for you. If you become a critical thinker, you will automatically get to the truth on your own. That's all I want for you, is to become a critical thinker. Nothing else. Just to become a critical thinker. You ain't got to become a Pan-Africanist. Just be a critical thinker. That's all I ask. Learn how to think for yourself. That's all I ask. And then I read another report. And then I read another report. And then I read another report that the plane that took Kobe up on that fateful morning had already had a test flight A 7 to 15 minute test flight was already conducted on that very same helicopter the same morning before Kobe and company loaded up. I'm going to repeat that. I received the report that the helicopter had already flown a test run about 7 to 15 minutes just before the 8 passengers boarded up. Why was the helicopter safe during the test run, but not safe when everybody got inside? I'm just asking you to think for yourself. Courage, commitment, consistency, creativity, and consciousness. That's how you judge all black people. Courage, commitment, consistency, creativity, and consciousness. That's how you judge all black people. Courage, commitment, creativity, consciousness, and consistency. That's how you judge all black people. Brothers and sisters, I will see you in New Orleans Saturday, Washington, D.C. next Saturday, February the 8th. Register at drumarjohnson.com. White Plains, New York, February the 29th. Get your tickets at drumarjohnson.com. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, March the 21st. Get your tickets and donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. $ FDMG School. Black Power. The